Hello, my name is Emily, and today I'll be sharing 3 short and simple stories. Each story is written for beginners, so don't worry if you're just starting out. Listening to short stories is a great way to learn and remember English naturally. Let's get started. Story number 1: A Morning Without Coffee. This morning, I woke up later than usual and everything started to go wrong. The sunlight was already coming through the window, and I realized right away that I had overslept. When I looked at the clock, it was already 8:30. Usually, I get up at 7 o'clock, so I had already lost a lot of time. I jumped out of bed, grabbed my toothbrush, and rushed to the bathroom. There was no time to enjoy a slow and peaceful morning. I washed my face quickly, changed into clean clothes, and tied my hair back in a messy ponytail. In all the rushing, I forgot one very important thing: my morning coffee. Normally, I start every day with a big cup of hot coffee. It helps me wake up, and honestly, it also helps me be kind and focused. But today I didn't have time. No coffee, no breakfast, just a hungry stomach and sleepy eyes. I left the house and ran to the bus stop. The bus was already there, so I jumped on just in time. It was crowded and all the seats were taken. I stood near a man who had a giant backpack. He kept bumping into me every time the bus stopped. The air on the bus was warm and stuffy, and people were talking loudly on their phones. Without coffee in my system, I felt like a zombie. My eyelids were heavy, and my head started to nod. Even though I was standing, I almost fell asleep. I held onto the metal bar and tried my best to stay awake. When I finally got to work, I felt like I had already lived a full day. I sat at my desk and opened my computer. 10 minutes later, I accidentally sent an email to the wrong person. It was a small mistake, but my boss noticed. She walked over to me and asked, "Are you okay today?" I looked up and said, "Honestly, I forgot my coffee." She laughed and said, "That explains everything." Then she walked to the break room and came back with a cup of coffee for me. It was warm, strong, and smelled amazing. As I took the first sip, I felt my brain slowly waking up. The world started to make sense again, so I learned an important lesson. No matter how busy the morning is, I should always take time for coffee. Learning with stories is fun, right? Don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a new one. Now, let's keep going. Story number 2: The Case of the Missing Sandwich. Yesterday at work, something strange happened during lunch. In the morning, I made myself a sandwich to bring to the office. It was a simple sandwich with cheese, lettuce, tomato, and a little mustard. I placed it carefully in a plastic container, closed the lid tightly, and packed it in my bag. I was looking forward to it all morning. Around noon, my stomach started to growl, so I went to the break room. I opened my bag, pulled out the container, and opened it. But the sandwich was gone. The container was completely empty. I stared at it in confusion for a moment. Did I eat it already and forget? No, that didn't make sense. I was still hungry, and I clearly remembered making it. I looked through my bag again just to be sure. No sandwich, no crumbs, nothing. I checked under my desk, inside my lunch bag, and even in the fridge just in case I had put it there earlier. Still no sandwich. Feeling a little embarrassed, I asked my coworker, Josh, "Hey, did you see my sandwich?" He shook his head and said, "Nope, haven't seen any sandwiches around here." I was about to give up when I heard a strange noise behind me. It was a crunching sound, followed by a soft little bark. I turned around slowly, and there he was, Milo, the office dog. Milo is a small brown dog with big ears and a very curious nose. He belongs to our boss and comes to the office a few days each week. Right now, he was sitting near my desk, wagging his tail and licking his lips. Next to him on the floor were a few crumbs. Sandwich crumbs. I looked at Milo and asked, "Did you eat my sandwich?" He wagged his tail even faster, as if he was proud of himself. I couldn't be mad. His face was just too cute. But I did say, "Milo, you little sandwich thief." He gave a happy bark, then rolled onto his back like he wanted a belly rub. So instead of my sandwich, I ate an apple and a granola bar. Not the lunch I had planned, but at least I wasn't hungry anymore. Next time, I'll make sure to keep my food far away from little dog noses. Story number 3, A Rainy Day Adventure. Today, I decided to walk to the grocery store to buy some eggs and milk. It was a quiet morning and the sky was a little cloudy. I didn't think it would rain, so I left the house without an umbrella. The air felt cool and the walk started out very peaceful. I was halfway to the store when I felt the first few drops of rain. They were small and light, so I kept walking. But within a minute, the rain started falling harder and faster. In just a few seconds, I was completely wet. My jacket was too thin and my shoes started to soak through. I looked around for somewhere to stay dry. There was a small tree nearby, but it didn't help much. Then I saw a bus stop with a roof, so I ran over and stood under it. There was already someone sitting there, an older man wearing a bright yellow raincoat. He looked at me and smiled. "Forgot your umbrella?" he asked. I laughed and said, "Yes, I guess I made a bad choice this morning." He nodded and said, "It happens to the best of us." We stood there for a few minutes, watching the rain fall. He told me about his cat, Princess, who always hides under the bed when it rains. I told him about Milo, the sandwich-stealing office dog. He laughed and said, "That dog has good taste." After a while, the rain slowed down. The sky was still gray, but it looked like it was safe to keep walking. I said goodbye to the man and walked the rest of the way to the store. I got my eggs and milk, and by the time I walked home, the sun was peeking through the clouds. At home, I changed into dry clothes and made myself some pancakes. They were warm, soft, and just what I needed. Even though I got wet and cold, I was glad I took that walk. Sometimes, even rainy days can bring a little sunshine. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed these stories and want to keep learning English with me, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've ever had a day like the ones in these stories, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment below and share your story. Remember, learning a new language takes time and practice. Every step forward is progress, even the small steps. You're doing an amazing job just by being here and listening. Keep practicing, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.